Hello everyone, this is Anjali Tyagi, and today we are going to discuss some remaining questions of Age of Chaucer. So let's get started. Question number 26. What is the main purpose of the general prologue to the Canterbury Tales? A. To introduce the pilgrims and their stories. B. To establish the setting of the pilgrimage. C. To present Chaucer's philosophy of life. D. To provide a satire on English society. Its correct answer is option A. To introduce the pilgrims and their stories. Question number 27. What is the significance of the frame narrative in the Canterbury Tales? Option A. It allows for a variety of genres and perspectives. B. It creates a sense of suspense and anticipation. C. It reflects the medieval preoccupation with death. D. It serves as a religious allegory. Its correct answer is option A. It allows for a variety of genres and perspectives. Question number 28. What is the main theme of the Knight's Tale? A. Courtly love and chivalry. B. The power of fate and destiny. C. The importance of social class. D. The corruption of the clergy. Its correct answer is option B. The power of fate and destiny. Question number 29. What is the significance of the Wife of Bath's prologue? It challenges the traditional views of women in medieval society. B. It defends the institution of marriage. C. It offers a humorous portrait of a bawdy woman. D. It critiques the abuses of the church. Its correct answer is option A. It challenges the traditional views of women in medieval society. Question number 30. Which language was dominant in English literary circles before Chaucer's rise? Option A. English. B. French. C. Latin. D. Italian. Its correct answer is option B. French. Question number 31. What term describes the literary movement led by Chaucer emphasizing English as a literary language? A. Courtly love movement. B. Wycliffism. C. Ricardian revival. D. Middle English movement. Its correct answer is option C. Ricardian revival. Question number 32. The Pardoner's Tale critiques his own profession by portraying him as a devout and sincere preacher. B. A greedy and hypocritical con artist. C. A wise and compassionate spiritual guide. D. A brave and selfless crusader. Its correct answer is option B. A greedy and hypocritical artist. Question number 33. What literary device frames the Canterbury Tales and allows for multiple voices and perspectives? Option A. Dramatic monologue. B. Epic structure. C. Epistolary format. D. Frame narrative. Its correct answer is option D. Frame narrative. Question number 34. What genre best defines Chaucer's Troilus and Cresside? Epic poem, pastoral romance, courtly tragedy, mock epic. Its correct answer is option C. Courtly tragedy. Question number 35. Which poem by Chaucer was influenced by Ovid's Metamorphoses and explores themes of love and transformation? Option A. The Book of the Duchess. B. The Parliament of Fowls. C. The Legend of Good Women. D. The Wife of Bath's Prologue. Its correct answer is option C. The Legend of sorry. It's B. Option B. The Parliament of Fowls. Question number 36. What historical event coincided with Chaucer's life and many have influenced his views on social hierarchy and corruption? Option A. Norman Conquest. B. Magna Carta. C. Black Death. D. 100 Years' War. Its correct answer is option C. Black Death. Question number 37. What major social group does the wife of Bath represent in the Canterbury Tales? A. Aristocracy. B. Clergy. C. Peasant class. D. Independent women. Its correct answer is option D. Independent women. 38. Question number 38 is, what does the Miller's Tale primarily satirize in its bawdy plot and characters? Courtly love and chivalry, the church and its corruption, social norms and gender roles, scientific theories and reason. Its correct answer is option C, social norms and gender roles. Question number 39. Which character in the Canterbury Tales acts as a voice for reason and morality, often criticizing other pilgrims' vices? The knight, the wife of Bath, the pardoner, the clerk. Option D is correct answer, the clerk. Question number 40. What Chaucerian tale features a debate between three spirits representing earth, water, and air, determining the most noble creature? A. The Reeve's Tale, the Miller's Tale, C. The Knight's Tale, D. The Parliament of Falls. Option D is correct answer. 41. What allegorical interpretation can be applied to the garden setting in the Book of the Duchess? A. Symbol of earthly temptations and pleasures. B. Representation of paradise and spiritual longing. C. Reflection of courtly romance and chivalry. D. Metaphor for the journey of death and mourning. Its correct answer is option D. Metaphor for the journey of death and mourning. Question number 42. Which of the following poems by Chaucer is a dream vision lamenting the death of a noble woman? Option A. Troilus and Cresside. B. The Book of the Duchess. C. The Parliament of Falls. D. The Legend of Good Women. Option B is correct answer, the Book of the Duchess. Question number 43. In Chaucer's Troilus and Cresside, which of the following characters represents blind and fickle fortune? Pandarus, Diomedes, Calchas, Fortune. Correct answer is option D, Fortune. Question number 44. The Legend of Good Women can be considered a work of courtly love poetry, Arthurian romance, feminist revisionist history, D. Religious allegory. Its correct answer is option C, feminist revisionist history. Question number 45. Which of the following is not a source of for Chaucer's The Knight's Tale? A. Boccaccio's Tessida. B. Statius Thebaid. C. Ovid's Metamorphoses. D. Geoffrey of Monmouth Historia Risum Britanniae. Its correct answer is option C, Ovid's Metamorphoses. Question number 46. Chaucer's House of Fame is an adaptation of a poem by A. Dante, B. Petrarch, C. Alain de Lille, D. Ovid. Its correct answer is option C. Question number 47. Which of the following themes is not explored in Chaucer's Parliament of Fowls? Option A. Nature and natural law. B. Love and its varieties. C. Social hierarchy and class. D. Religious faith and doubt. Option D is correct answer. Religious faith and doubt. Question number 48. Chaucer's Troilus and Cresside is written in rhyme royal, heroic couplets, ballad stanza, Chaucerian pentameter. Its correct answer is option B, heroic couplets. Troilus and Cresside is written in heroic couplet. So thanks for watching the video. Take care and bye bye.